What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we are going to get into college football week 3. We went into this week saying there's a lot of upsets. I can see a lot of upsets, a lot of trap games, and it kind of delivered that way. We maybe didn't finish the game with upsets, but there were a lot of games that these top teams looked um, a little scared for at least the first half. So let's break them down. Starting off with the Miami game, Bethune-Cookman on Thursday night. I didn't watch this game. I was coaching, but it looks like what you would expect. Miami gets out to an early lead. Tyler Van Dyke is continuing. I know it is against Bethune-Cookman, but Tyler Van Dyke's continuing to kind of show us that guy that he was. Cameron Kitchens, the safety, we didn't talk about it last week. I completely forgot to talk about it. Got injured last week. Unfortunately, it is season ending. He was a guy we talked about in the summer scouting series just a little bit. We hinted on his name. We didn't get to go watch the tape and break that down. So that's sad to see. I think he was doing pretty good things this season. So hope he bounces back. I don't know if he's going to just go to the draft anyways or not, but prayers to him. Whoops, wrong button. The next game we'll get into the Florida Tennessee game. So this was at the Swamp. This was one of the games we thought was going to be a trap game. Tennessee at Florida. Florida kind of dominated this game. It doesn't look like it from the box score, I guess. I guess it kind of does a 13-point game, right? But they dominated this game mostly on the ground. Offensive line versus defensive line. Tennessee just we said it. Tennessee's just not really physical enough. They don't have the receivers to be explosive either. So that's kind of breaking down that one. Joe Milton wasn't that accurate. He couldn't do it all himself. Let me look at Jalen Wright. Let's see there. Yeah, look at that. Jabari Small and Jalen Wright. Um, they were carrying it a little bit. They just weren't able to do enough to get them the win. I still think Tennessee's an okay team, but I thought they were ranked a little too heavily on that. We will be getting into my rankings. We'll do that on Thursday. We'll break down my new top 25. Um, Dang it, I didn't mean to do that again. Let's get into the Georgia-South Carolina game. I felt like this one was a trap game. I don't believe in Georgia because I don't believe in their quarterback. Um, Looks like their running back Edwards picked it up this week. That's great. But again, you're down 7-3 at after the first quarter. You're down 14-3 at halftime. You come out of halftime, make some adjustments, all of a sudden go on a 14-point swing, 21 unanswered, bam, game over. But that's scary against the South Carolina team that's not that good. Their offensive line's not good. They can't really get a run game going. The receivers can't catch other than Leggett. So I would be worried if I was a Georgia fan. Next, we'll go to Michigan. Michigan kind of just slowly handled business. They struggled to throw the ball. But other than that, it never felt like this game was out of control. Even with J.J. McCarthy going back to his ways that he was towards the end of last season, when you get into conference play, this kind of quarterback play can, derail your entire season because it can be winning or losing a game based off of this quarterback play. 3 interceptions is inexcusable against Bowling Green, but the running game looked fine. Blake Corum looked good. Like always, I think Blake Corum is proving to me at least that he is better than we all thought he was. I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was this good. I was thinking that he was going to take a step back this year. He's proving he's what he was before the injury. So that's awesome. Good for him. I'm a big fan of Blake Corum. Going to the Florida State-Boston College game. Before we start talking about Florida State being frauds, I did hear from multiple sources that there was a flu. Might have been COVID. I don't know. But they didn't. Don't think they tested for COVID or anything like that because they would have to sit out players. So instead of doing that, they just said they all had the flu. So they were playing sick. Got out to a very slow start. Tommy Castellanos, the quarterback for Boston College, I talked about him a little bit yesterday. Uses his feet very, very well. You can see 16 carries for 95 yards and a touchdown. He also threw the ball pretty decently today. Jordan Travis got injured before halftime. He ended up coming back out and playing. But this game looked scary for if you're a Florida State fan. Third quarter started looking a little bit better, and then the fourth quarter, the end of the game just got crazy. I think Florida State got bailed out on this win. I think it should have been a loss. They got bailed out. That's fine. I still think they're a very, very good team. Possibly the number one team on my top 25. I don't know. That's a little sneak peek for you, but are they going to be a top team on my top 25? We'll see. Texas. Again, I don't think Texas is the number 4th team in the nation. They beat an Alabama team that was ranked higher than they should have been. I do think Texas is good, but again, they played Wyoming at home, started off slow like they have been doing. Next thing you know, it's tied up 10-10. Fourth quarter, they finally picked it up and got on a tear. Brooks was a freaking beast this game. He's a true No, he's not a true sophomore. So he actually can come out this year. I want to see his. There we go. He's been running the ball fairly well. But man, he just went on a tear against Wyoming. He did. Quinn Ewers. Where's Quinn Ewers? Let me look at the box score really quickly, because this is kind of the game that you didn't want to see Quinn Ewers have. Again, it's against Wyoming, but 21 attempts. You're at 50% completion percentage, 6.2 yard average. I mean, you've got weapons, man. You've got weapons. This is not the Quinn Ewers we want to see after that Alabama performance. We are hoping to see a better Quinn Ewers than that. All right, we will break down Florida State, and then I'll have to take a quick break. But let's break down, not Florida State, Ohio State. Excuse me. I do not believe in this Ohio State team because of the quarterback. Luckily, against Western Kentucky, they were playing press. A lot of the time, they were playing ballsy and just letting these receivers get behind them. All you got to do is throw it up. It's a layup shot. So, again, I didn't really get anything out of this other than Marvin Harrison Jr. is really fast and can beat press. So that's all I got from that game. We will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Every single time I'm recording, it seems like my cat wants to go outside. So had to let her out really quickly. So we talked about Ohio State. Still not a believer in that in their quarterback. So going to Penn State. Penn State beat a feisty Illinois team at Illinois. I mean, they looked dominant. They were never in doubt, for me at least. Watching this game, Drew Ayler did enough. He did enough, but this running game that Penn State's supposed to have just was like, I don't really know how to explain it. They broke a couple, but Nicholas Singleton, supposed to be one of the better running backs in the league. I know he's not draft eligible. Better running backs in college football right now. Katron Allen, again, another guy that's supposed to be like that. And they just had a couple runs here and there, but the rest of it just bottled up. And you've got a left tackle in Olu Fashanu, who is, in my opinion, best left tackle in the game. And Illinois is feisty. I will give them that. But we've got to just pound the rock against them. And just didn't really feel like they could do that consistently that game. But other than that, that's me trying to find something to say negative about them. They were in control of the game the whole time. So they were in control of the game the whole time. That was another game we thought might be a trap game. This Michigan State-Washington game, thought that might be a trap game. Michigan State and Michael Penix Jr. That's my guy. Michael Penix Jr., Roma Dunze, also balled out. And just those two are awesome. I think Michael Penix Jr. might be second, third, fourth best quarterback in this class. I think he's a first-round pick. I know he's a little bit older. I know he has an injury history. If he plays like this for the rest of the season, this will be 2 years that he's played dominant football and did not get injured. I am giving him first round buzz. I am. I'm going to give him first round buzz. Notre Dame, Central Michigan. Notre Dame started slightly slow. And I was thinking, what's going to happen? Is this the top 10 upset that we're thinking was going to happen? And then no, it happened for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of the first quarter, and then they kind of got the ball rolling and everything like that. Sam Hartman looks good. Sam Hartman looks efficient. Not getting enough buzz right now for Heisman. I know we have guys like Shadur Sanders. I know we have guys, Caleb Williams. Michael Penix Jr. is beasting right now. Sam Hartman. Marvin Harrison Jr. is also looking really good. I would put him up there. But Sam Hartman, man. Sam Hartman's looking good. Audric Estime. Again, another huge game for Estime. Chris Tyree, he was a running back for a little bit. They switched him out to wide receiver this year, just because there's so many running backs there, and he was explosive. He's not even that fast as a running back. I didn't think he was that fast. 2 for 88 yards, good for him. Let's go to Alabama. What happened? You go to Raymond James Stadium, front of all the recruits at South Florida. You go to South Florida Stadium in this game. I really thought South Florida was going to win it. At halftime, it's 3-3. Come out of halftime, slow. Alabama gets a touchdown. All right, cool. That's fine. But other than Naquan Wright, running back for South Florida, I didn't see anything from anyone else. Naquan Wright single-handedly moved this offense up and down the field. Defensively, they played well as well, but Alabama played a couple quarterbacks in this game, and it's not it. Jalen Milroe is going to be the guy, but he's not the guy. Man, this Alabama team, I told you, I don't trust the quarterback. I don't trust the offense. Defense is going to keep them up there for me. But that team, it's Milroe. It is. It has to be Milroe, so you can get a little bit of a running threat. But that doesn't scare me. The weapons don't scare me. Quarterback doesn't scare me. I think this offense is toast. The running backs don't scare me. I think they're toast, man. Utah still don't have Cam Rising. That's worrisome. They are 3-0 without Cam Rising. They beat Florida. They won a close one to Baylor. Now they beat Weber State. Not that convincingly. They did enough. Nate Johnson uses his legs. That's what's going to have to happen if you don't have Cam Rising. Keep Nate Johnson in and use his dual threat. That's what you have to do. Not really much to say about this one other than Utah finds a way to win. I still need to see Cam Rising soon, or else I'm going to be worried when they're getting into conference play. I think they have USC this week, so defense is going to hold USC to probably 35 points, I would say. Maybe 31 points, maybe 27 points if you're lucky. That USC offense is really good and explosive. We'll say best case scenario is 27 points. Can Utah score 27 points on USC's defense? Maybe. But I think it's a race to 35. So without Cam Rising, can Nate Johnson get there? We'll see. Hawaii had to play Oregon. Bo Nix killed it. Troy Franklin, again. If they didn't take Troy Franklin out early, this dude would have had 150 yards. Easily. Bo Nix did well. You would have loved to keep him in for a little bit longer so he could put up some more stats for his Heisman campaign, but he looks good. This Oregon team is good. This Oregon team is my number 2 team in the Pac-12. Pac-12 is loaded this year. They are loaded. Let's go to LSU, Mississippi State. I thought this was going to be a trap game. I thought this was going to be an upset game. No, LSU goes to Mississippi State, handles it. Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver, does it all. Jalen Daniels just throws it up to him. Does not care. He trusts his receiver. That dude is a bad man. He's probably in the top 5 for receivers right now for me. We'll have to redo those lists as we get through the season a little bit more, but I'm a big fan. Big fan. All right, let's get to the next game. We have Kansas State versus Missouri. Upset. Called this one as well. I like Kansas State. I think Kansas State is a really good team. But Will Rogers, Will Rogers is the Mississippi State quarterback. Will Howard, just sometimes I can just tell every once in a while he'll be off his game, and it costs him, man. It costs him. Defense didn't do very well against a Missouri team that, I mean, honestly, should not be running all over your defensive backs like that. They really should not be. But they did. Missouri's a solid team. I think they're a top 35 team. I'd probably put them at. Kansas State, I think, is still a top 25 team. I think if you play this game 10 times, Missouri only wins it about 3. I think that's probably how it goes, and this was one of them. So it was a close game all the way up until the end. You just got to be able to finish and not make mistakes like Kansas State made at the end. Going to the Oregon State game, DJ Uyunglele kind of had not a great game, and it kind of made this one a little closer than you wanted it to be. Again, it wasn't anywhere out of control, but kind of want to go pull away from this team going into conference play. That's it. I don't have anyone else really on there that I want to talk about. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart ran all over Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has Haynes King, who was a Texas A&M quarterback, I think, for a little while. It looks like he did pretty well. Georgia Tech is still switching to a spread. You remember they used to be a triple option team. They're switching to a spread. They're trying to get into it. They scored some points in the fourth quarter, but it was against mostly backups. Jackson Dart didn't look great, but he did enough, and he did a lot on the ground as well. But I want to see some more with him passing the ball. That's really what I want to see. I know he's dual threat, but I got to see that. Going to Colorado State, I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time watching this game as it went through 2 overtimes. Yeah, it went through 2 overtimes. I'll say, first off, that Colorado State guy that hit Travis Hunter went out early in this game, had to be taken to the hospital. That's a dirty hit. That's a dirty hit. I feel like he should have been ejected, but I'm not really that mad that they didn't eject him. They called the penalty good. I would have ejected him. But again, you guys on the internet, what are you doing tracking down this dude's parents' house and sending death threats to his parents and stuff? Like, let's be a little more mature than that. What the heck did he do? He wanted to send a freaking message against Colorado, who's been talking junk. You're trying to hit their best player as hard as you can to show them, yeah, we're here. You guys aren't that good. That's it. That's all it was. Yeah, it was dirty. I didn't like it. Why are we sending death threats to the dude's parents? That's ridiculous. Other than that, Shedeur Sanders threw an interception really early in this game, and I think it was a pick six. I think it went all the way back. But they kept fighting. Again, this is what you want to do. Do you want to have a game like this where you have to face adversity against Colorado State? No, not ideally. But again, they faced adversity. They got playmakers still. Colorado State's quarterback, this Fowler Nicolosi, this dude's, I kind of like this guy. He makes some cocky, confident throws, but he makes them. Yeah, some of them are interceptions. Cool. But he kind of just reminds me of like this Brett Favre gunslinger. That's kind of the vibe I get from him. So hold on, let me click on his name, because that's what we do around here. He's a freshman. Is he a true freshman? No. He's a redshirt freshman. Look at these stats. He's only played in 2 games, or these are just the recent games? He only played in 2 games this year. I kind of like this kid. Hey, this kid, 6'1", 205, but man, he was flying around making plays. He was making plays. I'm a big fan of that guy, Fowler Nicolosi. We're going to keep up with him a little bit and check in with him. Shedeur Sanders did okay. He made NFL throws. was getting hit in the pocket. The worst part about Colorado right now, offensive line. They have to get some offensive linemen either in the portal or recruit them right now. They've got the skilled players, they got the weapons. They need some more depth guys, but really they need offensive line. If this team wants to be good, this team wants to be great, offensive line, because Shadur's getting killed back there. Oklahoma, Tulsa. I thought this was going to be an upset, and Oklahoma put it on them early. Dylan Gabriel, 421 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception. Dude played his tail off. I guess that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I didn't get to watch all this game. I got to watch the highlights, so I'm not sure about Danny Stutzman, the linebacker that we were talking about. I'll have to go back and rewatch it to get some tape on that. North Carolina, Minnesota. This game was kind of just boring, is how I would like to say it. And not boring in boring's not the way I wanted to say it. It just was kind of explosiveness on one side and then methodical drives on the other side. Again, you end up winning the game by 18 points. Good job, North Carolina. But it was just, I don't know. I don't really know how to say it. It was just, Drake May made a lot of great plays, but he's still making some boneheaded plays as well. I guess that's what we'll say. You guys don't care about the analysis. You want to hear about some players. So that's the analysis on that player. Duke Northwestern. I did not watch this game. I've been saying I want to watch the Duke game to really watch live Riley Leonard. He looks dual threat, at least looking at this box score, but I didn't get to watch it. I'm going to have to watch that one on the way back as well. Washington State, my dog Cam Ward, man. My dog Cam Ward is a beast. This dude is not going to go in the first round. He's going to go, I think he'll go in the second, but he's going to immediately start. He's going to have that Russell Wilson type Dak Prescott where he gets in the second, third round, sitting behind someone. He's gonna beat out a veteran. He will. He's gonna beat out a veteran because this kid is good. I don't hear a lot of first round buzz for him, but I like him. He can throw. He can throw from all the arm angles. He's an athletic kid. He's got a good arm. He makes decent reads. Obviously, he's not perfect on his reads, and the system is more spread down the field and everything like that. But man, I like the kid a lot. UCLA has Carson Steele. Looks like he didn't really run the ball that much. I didn't watch this game either. I was watching the Colorado game. Iowa. Dude, Iowa ran the ball so freaking well. Cade McNamara, what are you doing? Like, okay, look at Cade McNamara's numbers here. 9 for 19, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That Lackey, where is he? The tight end Lackey, I think is his name. He's out for the rest of the season. It sucks, but Eric All is going to get some more targets, I hope. Dude, Cade McNamara came in here to do one thing, and it is to be a game manager, throw the ball when you have to throw the ball. Under 50%, 2 interceptions. Like they have the run game going. They have the run game going. Every once in a while, it's third down. You got to make a good read, 5-yard out, post pattern, something like that. You just got to make a quick throw on a simple read, and it's just, I don't know. He just can't do it. He just wasn't doing it. So Cade McNamara frustrates me. But I mean, that's what's new. You know what I mean? Frustrated me last week, frustrated me the week before that. All right, let's break down some of these other games very quickly. We are rapid firing the non-top 25 games. Maryland, this Tagovailoa kid, Talia Tagovailoa, he's good. He slings the ball around the rock. I think he's got a stronger arm than his bigger brother, Tua, that's in the NFL. Does he make the best decisions? No. But I think he's got enough talent where he could maybe do something in the NFL. But that's kind of like a huge projection, I would say. Army, UTSA. UTSA, I thought Man, if they don't get out to this hole at the very beginning of the game, I think UTSA ends up winning this game. They look better for the last 3 quarters, just dominant. They kind of figured out how to slow down Army, but if you can't tackle, you can't tackle. That's basically that. Um, oh, UCF versus Villanova again. It's Villanova. I don't really want to talk too much about it other than UCF's defense looked good. Timmy McClain, the backup quarterback that transferred in from USF, um, he played well. He did a good job for them. Again, there's a few more weeks that he's going to have to stand in there and play well while John Rice Plumlee is out. R.J. Harvey was very, very explosive. He's doing the things R.J. Harvey is supposed to do. Kobe Hudson, the wide receiver, 6 for 147 yards. Javon Baker also was out there doing his thing. So this is still a good UCF team. I think McClain just has to kind of use his feet a little bit more and just get the ball out to his playmakers, and they'll be fine. They've got Kansas State at Kansas State this week. But again, I think that's a top 25 team. I don't know why they're not getting much love. We talked about that. We talked about that game. What game have we not talked about yet as we scroll on down here? There we go. Liberty Buffalo. Louisville. I don't have anything on them. Wisconsin. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I know it's Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's a solid team, though. They play really good defense. And Braylon Allen picked up last week. I was a little disappointed by how he was running. This week he picked it up, lowered his shoulder, got a lot of yards after contact on that one. This Long Island University, they have, I think it's Brock Purdy's little brother. No? Sam Howell's little brother? I think someone said that. I think it was Sam Howell's little brother. It might not actually be him. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I know this video is running long. Chris Howell. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is Sam Howell's brother. I think they just have a. I think they just share a last name, but. All right. I think someone was messing with me when they said, "Hey, did you see Sam Howell's brother on Long Island?" Okay. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Looking at some other guys. Let's see if anyone pops out to me. Oh, EJ Warner is Kurt Warner's son. Plays for Temple. He's someone I think he was a true freshman last year, so this is his second year. Let's keep looking at him. Let's see. Let's just keep reminding ourselves to keep going back to the Temple games and seeing how well he's doing. That's all I had to say about that part, though. I don't really care too much about him. Rutgers. UConn sucks, man. UConn is bad. And I know we talked about that guard, Haynes, but I haven't watched a UConn game, and I don't plan to. We'll talk about the guard when we actually watch in the offseason. I refuse to sit down and watch a UConn game. That offense is bad. Appalachian State, I don't really have anyone I want to shout out there. Texas A&M, Connor Wegman kind of does a comeback game, I would say. Again, Anais Smith, Evan Stewart, all these guys that he's throwing to, it's awesome. Connor Wegman picks it up against UL Monroe. Again, it's UL Monroe, but let's get a nice little rebound game because we just lost to Miami. California, don't have anyone there. Tulane, Michael Pratt, I think is ready to come back. He's ready to come back. This team's going to be a lot better with him there. But they still won against Southern Miss. Georgia State, don't have anyone on there. There's a running back on Georgia State I like, I think. Hold on. We're almost done with this. I'm sorry, guys. I promise. No, at least they didn't play. I don't know. All right, we got a few. We're gonna rapid fire just a few more games. If I pass your team, sorry. Peyton Thorne. Whoa. I know it's Samford. Peyton Thorne running for 120 yards. Nice. Good for him. Nebraska. Nebraska picks it up against Northern Illinois. Um, again, they put up only 3 points on that defense against the starters. So good for the defense. That defense is tough, man. Cincinnati ends up losing. Emory Jones throws a few interceptions. That's a heartbreaker. To Miami of Ohio too. South Alabama shows that they are a tough team to play. I would not want to play South Alabama if I was anyone. I think that's it for us today, guys. I don't have anything to say about any of these teams. KJ Jefferson's not it, dude. KJ Jefferson frustrates the crap out of me. He's got the talent. He's got the arm. He doesn't really make the best decisions. Can't really read the field. That's it. So it's not really his fault. It's just, oh man, everything's there, and I want to hype this kid up, and it just doesn't really happen. Yeah, he threw for 247 yards, but it just wasn't what you needed. Devin Leary, and by wasn't what you needed, let me specify. The stats look fine, but it's just in those key moments on third downs, big third downs, this and that. It just he fails in those moments. So sure, the whole thing, 247, 1-1 is okay, but not whenever you need him in the moment. Devin Leary, transferred to Kentucky, actually has a good game. This is the game I've been wanting to see from Kentucky. Yes, it was against Akron, so I'm still wary about it, but that's what we're talking about. Freaking Phil Jerkovich should be benched. Playing for Pitt right now, he is so bad. Where's the Jerkovich that was at Boston College that we were talking about? Oh, this guy might be a top 50 pick. He just sucks. He sucks. He comes to the media and complains about the fans and everything like that. Dude, you suck. You suck. That's it. And I think that's all we're going to talk about. Oh, Clemson, thank you. Against Florida Atlantic, they wanted to dominate on the ground, and that's what they did. They threw the ball a little bit, didn't throw the ball that much, especially with the starters in. They wanted to get the ground game going, and they did. They are playing Florida State next week, and that's kind of why they wanted to get that ground game going, I imagine. So, yeah, they did. I'm expecting a huge game against Florida State next week. TCU had Chandler Morris just be a game manager. That's all he needs to be. Get the run game going. Look at that, 36-13. Texas State, TJ Finley, a bunch of other guys that they got in there on the transfer portal. That Texas State team is good, man. This Texas State team's good. This is another team I do not want to play if I'm a Power 5 school. Kansas, Jalen Daniels, welcome back. Fresno State, Mikey Keene. Arizona, Jaden DeLora. No analysis, just going to say their name. So appreciate you guys stopping by. If you enjoyed this, I don't know how you could. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Put down in the comments section if I missed one of the games that you watched and you liked, and put your own analysis in there. Let's talk in the comment section about it. Tomorrow we'll talk about the NFL games that just happened. Prayers to Nick Chubb. That was a scary, scary injury. Hope you do all right. We'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we'll go ahead and do our top 25 rankings. So have a good day, guys. Peace.